What's up guys, Cousin here. Welcome back to another video, and boy do I have something to share for you in this video. So if you've noticed, I hope that you've noticed, I haven't really posted any video on this channel in like 2 weeks. And the reason is because I've been busy working. And I haven't been working on what I thought I would be working, especially after launching the beta playtest of my Idle RPG. I've been doing something completely different. So 3 weeks ago, I launched a beta playtest of Alden Idle, which is my Idle RPG inspired by RuneScape. And actually some of you are still playing it to this day, which is very cool. What's not so cool is the fact that not long after launching it, I think even like the day after launching it, I realized that the game in its current state was not good enough to attract the amount of players that I wanted to, and basically the players that were coming on, they weren't sticking, they weren't playing the game. And essentially, I kind of had to take a step back to really reevaluate what my game has to offer that is unique, that you can't get from any other games. And ultimately, I ended up completely rebuilding this game from scratch. Now, it's still called Alden Idle, it's still an Idle RPG, it's still inspired by RuneScape, that is never going to change, but the foundation, the way it looks, the way it feels, could not be more different. And so in this video, I want to share with you this new version over here and finally get it to you for a second playtest, because it's finally, after 3 weeks of work, it's finally ready. Let me formally reintroduce you to my Idle RPG, Alden Idle. This is the new version of Alden Idle, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the future and the successful future of this game. So Alden Idle is an idle RPG that keeps leveling while you live your life. So this hasn't changed, right? It's still the same game. It still has the same name, right? It's still everything that the game was before. It's just packaged completely differently, and it feels more different. And that's really important because I think that I finally found what was missing for this game. So the first thing that is a fundamental change between this game and my previous game is the fact that this one here is a mobile first game. So currently the new playtest is up. That's why I'm posting this video. That's why you're watching this right now. You can go and either go on the App Store in test flight to test the test build of this game, or if you have an Android, you can go on Google Play and test it that way. This is no longer, at least right now for this test, a web/desktop game. I'm still planning to do desktop and web in the future, but that's no longer the priority. The priority now is actually to do this on mobile, and you will see once I open it up on a simulator here exactly why. So this is what Alden Idle now looks like. When you download this game and spin it up for the first time, this is what your game is going to look like, with the exception that you're not going to have any equipment over here because you're going to be starting a new character. This is the future of Alden Idle. And the first thing that you notice is that we have locations. My character is not just a menu somewhere, it's not just like in a void, it actually is in a real physical place. In this case, it is in Aldenshire. Aldenshire is a real village inside of the world of Alden, right? It's a real location, and because it's a real location, it has real things to do. It has resources, it has things that you can interact with, right? For example, it has buildings, it has like a fire pit where you can do your fire making, it has a kitchen for your cooking, a smithy for smithing, and so on. It also has resources over here, right? The logs, the copper ore, the tin ore, the raw shrimp. It also has monsters over here, right? And of course, it also has the dungeons. These are all things, by the way, that were there in the previous version of the public playtest, because at the end of the day, it's still the same core, it's still the same content, it's still the same foundation of a game. But the presentation could not be more different just because of the fact that we now have locations. So if I want to, for example, come here and chop some logs, right? I can come here, I can select the log, and now you're going to see that this log over here is not just a log in the void, it's a log in Aldenshire. And I can only chop this log if my character is also in Aldenshire. So the locations actually matter. It's not just like thematic, right? To just have a location, it actually has a purpose. And everything else is what you're already familiar with if you've played the previous version of Alden, like your XP per hour, your speed over here, the XP per action, what this is actually going to give you, right? So it's going to give you here log, all the fuel, and a bunch of other stuff like the sell price. To start chopping it, you can come here, press start wood cutting. This is going to open up a familiar screen over here where you can select your tool, right? Just like in the previous version. So here I have the Crimson Axe. This is currently the maximum tier, so there's nothing left for me to upgrade here. You can see I went through all of these axes here to upgrade them, so I'm already at the best, which is cool. And I can set how many logs I want to do. Let's do 10 for example, and let's start chopping some logs. And now look at that, I am chopping logs in Alden. Isn't this cool? This to me honestly changes everything. I know it's the same thing ultimately, right? You're still chopping logs just like you did before, but it's so much different. You're like in Aldenshire, you're in a real place, and it feels much more immersive. And then what I can also do is I can go here, for example, to the fire pit to start burning some of these logs that I just chopped. And let's just take a moment to really appreciate, like, I love these animations here. They're very subtle, but they bring so much life to this game. And that's one of the things that I really wasn't liking about the previous version of my game. I wasn't the biggest fan of like my assets and my characters, and I felt they were a bit empty and they were lacking something. And with this, I feel that I've taken a significant step in making them that much better. Right, so here we're in the fire pit. Again, this is in Aldenshire, so it has a real location, right? So you can only do this by being in Aldenshire. And I can come in here and I can see all the charcoal that I previously had, that you know, right, from the previous version. I can select here my charcoal, I can come in here, I can see the same data about the charcoal, right, the XP per hour and so on. And I can start fire making, choose my strike over here, and set how many do I want to do. And then once again, my character is now in the fire pit actually doing charcoal. He moved from Aldenshire. I mean, he's still in Aldenshire, but he's in a building of Aldenshire, and now he's there, right? Your character moves, right? It has different places. It's much more immersive. I can also, of course, come here and fight some animals, for example, some monsters, right? Let's fight the traditional cow. Let's come here to the cow. You're going to see the cow, the combat skills, the combat stats, everything that you already know from the cow. I can come here, I can start fighting it, select my combat style, select my weapon, and start fighting a cow. And now you're going to see the user interface for fighting. This is what it looks like. Right now I'm fighting a cow in Aldenshire. To me, this changes everything, right? I managed to figure out a extension, an improvement to this game without changing what the core actually is. It's still an idle RPG. It still functions the same exact way. It's still inspired by RuneScape. I mean, I'm fighting a cow. Like, how iconic RuneScape is that, right? But it's so much different. But wait, there's more. Let me now show you something that we can now do because we have locations, and arguably something that we are actually required now to do because we have locations. I can come here to the centerpiece of the bottom tab bar, and I can click this globe over here, and this is going to bring us to the world map. Yes, there is now a world map in Idle. Of course, there's a world map. We have locations, so we need a world to place those locations in. So this is the region of Aldenfall. That's what I chose to call it. So in here we have Aldenshire. This is where we are currently at by this green dot over here. Then we have the Aldenwood Forest, right? This is like a forest. You can find a bunch of animals there and resources and stuff like that. We have the Greyman Downs, another area, the Briarfen Marsh, the Howling Peaks, the Graveshade Manor, and of course the Burning Rift. And honestly, let's just go into the Burning Rift because it looks so cool. Look at this one, the Burning Rift. This is where you expect like dragons and demons and like high-level monsters to be. And of course, that's what is here, right? You have the golems, you have the demons, the dragons, and all of that. And of course, you have Crimsonite ore, right? So if you want to mine Crimsonite ore, you have to go to the Burning Rift. So let's do that, right? So how do you travel in this new version of Alden Idle? Well, you simply click here and you click travel at the bottom, and you're instantly going to be brought there. And you can see my character now is in the Burning Rift. Now, this was a thoughtful decision that I had to think about before making. I didn't want there to be like any friction of traveling, like maybe it takes you like some amount of time to travel or resources or whatever, because that's not really the point of the game, at least not right now. The point is to spend that time grinding things, right? So I made traveling like instant, it's like fast travel, but that doesn't mean that travel is useless. You still have to go to the location, and there's much more things that I can do with locations in the future now that we have them. So now that we're in the Burning Rift, we can of course come here to the Crimsonite ore, we can start mining this ore, and we can just let it run with a Crimson pickaxe, and now I'm mining Crimsonite ore in the Burning Rift. This to me is amazing, and it makes it so much more enjoyable to do the same activity as you had before, just because I know I'm doing it in a location and it makes it more immersive. I don't know if that's just me or if it's other players, but I hope that this is a significant improvement to the game as a whole. Now, also, I want to show you some quality of life things that I've done. So let me show you what happens if you actually want to go directly to the thing that you want to do instead of traveling first to the location, because sometimes you just want to do that. So if you come here to the world map, you can go to, for example, the Howling Peaks, which is also another area that I really like. It's like snowy and cool. And let's say I want to mine azurite ore without traveling. So I can come here to the azurite ore, and I can simply click here, start mining over here, and you're going to see it's going to warn you here at the bottom that you will automatically travel to the Howling Peaks, right? This is a quality of life feature because it shouldn't be the traveling that slows you down. You should only be focused on the things that you want to do. So I can press start mining over here, and now I'm going to go automatically to the Howling Peaks, and I'm directly mining azurite ore, just like you would expect. And there you go. This is the new version of Alden, and I honestly love it. Please leave me a comment down below. What do you think about this? Is this now original enough? Is it unique enough? Does it bring something to the table that other games don't, right? I hope that it does, because I spent so much time working on this. Now, before I end this video, let me quickly just go over some of my plans for the next couple of weeks, because now I actually have the time to spend that time on actually building new features instead of porting the old version to the new version. So one of the first updates that is coming is actually a new batch of content, because in this version, as cool as it is, the only thing that I've added is the mobile version of it and all of these locations. But everything within a location, so all the resources, the monsters and dungeons and so on, they're exactly the same as they were in the previous public beta playtest. All items go to level 50, which is Crimson, right? So you can't get any item above that. And I think it's time that we have some new items that are more powerful and that are a little bit more difficult to actually get. So that's going to be the first update that is coming. Then after that, I also want to rework the combat because it is a bit lacking, not in terms of like the content and stuff like that. I mean, of course, there could be more content and there will be, but specifically in all of the behind the scenes like formula to like how much damage you do and how much damage you receive. It's not actually a great experience, and it needs to be fine-tuned a little bit, and this became apparent during these 3 weeks over here from the people that were testing the game. So I want to overhaul the combat system and make it a little bit more engaging so that you feel that you're actually doing a little bit more damage. It's going to be a bit more similar to how old school RuneScape actually does it, which I mean, of course, is kind of the goal because this is after all inspired by RuneScape. And then after that, I'm working on something that I think is, once again, if you can believe it, going to significantly change the way that you play this game, and hopefully for the better. And that is going to be adding NPCs and quests to this game. That's right, there are now going to be NPCs in every single location, and these NPCs will have quests. They will have actual dialogue. You'll be able to talk to them. You'll be able to learn about the world of Alden, right? And all of these specific NPCs, and they'll have you do quests that are related to the actual resource and things that are in a location, just like you would expect from a real game. So maybe some quests will have you chop some logs, maybe some will have to like mine some ores, right? Who knows? And the thing is, it doesn't change the actual gameplay, right? You're still doing the same things, you're still chopping logs, you're still mining ore, but it changes the narrative. Now you're doing it for something. You have a reason. You're helping someone, right? You're contributing to something, which adds to the overall immersion that I wanted to have for this game. And if you've been watching for a couple of videos now, you would know that this is something that I actually struggled with for a long time, right? In the previous version, I felt that it was lacking like this meta narrative, right? This reason to do all of these skills. And with NPCs and quests and now locations, I can do that. And that then unlocks some very cool things, like I can maybe lock some locations behind some quests where you need to do the quest before you get access to the location, right? So it kind of like prompts you to like do the quest and whatnot. Dungeons, the same things. Maybe you can get like unique items from doing a quest, right? Who knows, right? The possibilities are endless, and these are the missing pieces that this game needs. And so that's what the immediate future looks like for Alden Idle. Everything else is up to you, right? And how you play this game and the feedback that you give me, both in here on YouTube, but also in the Discord channel, which I hope that you're going to join, because that's where I talk about all of these things. That's where we discuss a lot of the systems and like gameplay elements of this game. And if you want to have your voice heard, to have any say in how the game is and how it ends up looking like, the Discord is the place to be. So there you go. This is the new version of Alden Idle. It's a pretty significant step. I'm super excited for it, and I hope that you are too. And please go and playtest this. It's completely free. You don't need to even have an account, at least not right now. And it's available for both iOS and Android, and you can just playtest it. Come join us on the Discord and leave some feedback. Enjoy the game, and let's make this into the best idle RPG that is out there. So yeah, with that, that's it. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will now be able to make more videos because I actually have something to talk about more often, at least hopefully. So stick around for that. Subscribe if you haven't, leave a thumbs up. It really does help out a lot. And with that being said, my name has been Darius Kozin. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.